policy.
Okay.
Governor, I want to ask you, why are you lying to this committee?
I am not.
Who's the top law enforcement officer in the state of Minnesota?
The top law enforcement
Yep.
officer? Attorney General.
Yeah, that's right. What's his name? What's his name?
Are you asking me, do you know his name?
Do you know his name? Do you know his name?
I know the AG, AG Ellison.
This is an article right here I'd like to submit for the record. Minnesota AG says will not enforce federal immigration laws as DOJ threatens to prosecute officials who resist.
Without objection, so ordered.
Why are you lying to this committee? That is the top law enforcement officer in your state who's saying he will not comply with the federal government.
Nothing in his opinion.
This may look like another partisan shouting match, but it's actually a deeper test of what it means for states to operate within a federal system. What's really being tested here is whether leadership is about rhetoric or responsibility, about political messaging or constitutional alignment. This raises broader questions about federal authority, state autonomy, and whether elected officials are reinforcing trust in the system or eroding it for short-term political gain. In this video, we'll break down how this exchange exposes competing definitions of accountability, what it reveals about the tension between state policy signaling and federal enforcement, and what it means for the balance of power in American democracy going forward.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Governor Walz, you stated in your opening statement the following: but nothing Minnesota has done stands in the way of federal government managing its border security policy.
Okay.
Governor, I want to ask you, why are you lying to this committee?
I am not.
Who's the top law enforcement officer in the state of Minnesota?
The top law enforcement
Yep.
officer? Attorney General.
Yeah, that's right. What's his name? What's his name?
Are you asking me, do you know his name?
Do you know his name? Do you know his name?
I know the AG, AG Ellison.
This is an article right here I'd like to submit for the record. Minnesota AG says will not enforce federal immigration laws as DOJ threatens to prosecute officials who resist.
Without objection, so ordered.
Why are you lying to this committee? That is the top law enforcement officer in your state who's saying he will not comply with the federal government.
Nothing in his opinion changes the fact that state law requires all state and county officials to ask for immigration status when a convicted felon is
No, I'm
convicted.
sorry, Governor. He is saying he will not comply with federal laws. That's your top law
Nothing in this
enforcement
opinion
officer.
changes how
You're
he-
lying and misrepresenting your.
What just happened isn't simply an argument. It's a public interrogation of whether a state's political messaging can contradict federal enforcement obligations. This matters because when state leaders appear to publicly distance themselves from federal law, it raises questions about uniform enforcement, public trust, and national cohesion. If accountability becomes optional, the precedent isn't just political. It reshapes how federal authority is respected across the entire country.
Yourself to this committee. Now I want to ask you this. Do you think in that line of questioning, free health care, food assistance, free college tuition, driver's licenses, and cash assistance, do you think that that's helping or hurting this government manage its border security and policies?
Well, Minnesota ranks first in health care. We rank third in safety on our roads.
Let me answer that for you. It's actually hurting because what
It's
you
making my state
created
safer
is
and more
you've created a
prosperous.
state that is now a magnet that is
There's
drawing
no law.
illegals
There's no sanctuary
to
law in
Minnesota.
Minnesota, Congressman.
I know you guys haven't put it that way on the books, but your state has everything, every element in it that is consistent with the sanctuary state.
That's
Moving
incorrect.
on, Mr. Walz. How about you calling ICE agents modern-day Gestapo? That also stands. Do you think that helps our federal government carry out its law enforcement?
I think best
border
practices in law
security
enforcement by
policies?
identifying who you are, identifying the vehicles, and making sure everyone has due process helps our law enforcement. I think covering your faces.
Do you think
This isn't about benefits or programs. It's about whether states signal incentives that may complicate national policy objectives. The core issue is whether governance choices align with national systems or fracture them. If states create policy environments that conflict with federal strategy, it doesn't just challenge Washington, it challenges the very idea of a unified national approach.
you think that helps calling our law enforcement agents that, what does ICE stand for, Governor? Immigration, custom, enforcement, right? These are the guys that are tasked with enforcing immigration, federal
That's right.
immigration laws.
That's their job. It's
So
not
you
the
think that
state's job.
calling them Gestapo is helping? You're not standing in the way. None of the messaging, none of the rhetoric is standing in the way of this administration doing what they've been tasked to do. Is that what you're saying?
I think what would help them is to follow due process, and when they do these missions, do the things that we expect of law enforcement.
How about when you
Identify-
went on Anderson Cooper, Governor Walz, and you said, how high is this wall? If it's 25 feet, then I'll invest in a 30-foot ladder factory. Do you think that helps our federal government carry out its law enforcement, its border security and policy operations?
This moment highlights the power of words in governance. Leadership communication doesn't exist in a vacuum. Rhetoric shapes legitimacy. When officials delegitimize the very institutions tasked with enforcement, it doesn't only affect policy, it affects morale, trust, and public perception of lawful authority. That has long-term consequences for democratic stability.
When did I say that?
You went on Anderson Cooper and said that. Do you not remember saying that?
I-
Because you've said so many outlandish things that you
I
can't
don't
even keep
recall.
track of them.
The point being is.
The
but you
clip
need
is there
more
for
than-
everybody. It's there for all Americans. If you guys want to go watch it, it's an easy Google. All right, Governor, you recently went on Gavin Newsom's podcast. You stated in regards to MAGA voters, I scare them a little bit, which is why they spend so much time on me. No, I'm serious because they know I can fix a truck. That's your direct quote. You also said on the show, I think I could kick most of their asses. I want to be very clear with you, Governor. You do scare us a bit, but it's not because you can fix a truck or change a tire. It's actually because of your radical left-wing agenda. You supported putting tampons in boys' bathrooms. You advocated for the disarming of Americans of their Second Amendment rights. You're pro-sanctuary city, as we have uncovered here today. You claim there is no guarantee to free speech when it comes to misinformation and hate speech. That right there.
This isn't just a political jab. It reframes the exchange as a cultural and constitutional struggle. When disagreements shift from policy critique to ideological identity, hearings stop being about solutions and become battles over societal direction. That transformation is exactly what deepens polarization and challenges institutional unity.
Is why the American people have such a hard time with you. It's not because we're crazy MAGA people, it's because of your radical left-wing agenda. I want to ask you on that last one where you claim there's no guarantee to free speech. Did you pick that up on one of your 30 trips to communist China, Governor? That sounds a lot like something that they would do. Yes or no?
So I don't believe hate speech has
Okay.
a place in there. Hate speech that incites violence.
Governor Walz, you said that Kamala Harris picked you for vice president to code talk to white guys. How did that work out for this administration? How well did you do with white guys?
I don't have the.
You lost by 22 points to white guys. And it's because you talk like the way you do, you say the things you do, and you have this radical left-wing ideology. So if you want to continue that rhetoric, go on, brother. Keep doing it. We'll keep destroying you in elections.
And
Thank you, and I yield back.
The people of Minnesota will continue to have me serve them.
Chair recognizes Ms. Ramirez.
Here, the fight moves from Congress to the ballot box. This moment matters because it connects institutional accountability with electoral accountability. It reminds us that hearings aren't just theater. They are part of a broader struggle over who defines governance, which values prevail, and how public trust is ultimately rewarded or rejected in democracy. What we've seen in this exchange is bigger than one lawmaker questioning one governor. It's a snapshot of a nation grappling with authority, truth, accountability, and the boundaries between state leadership and federal responsibility. When rhetoric replaces clarity, institutions weaken. When political signaling overshadows constitutional duty, trust erodes. Democracy doesn't survive on performance. It survives on integrity, transparency, and the willingness of leaders to align their words with real responsibility. What happens next depends on whether lawmakers choose escalation or accountability. And that choice will shape not just hearings like this, but the durability of our institutions themselves. Subscribe to Liberty Report USA.